Everyone, my name is Devin, and thank you for tuning to my channel, Devin's Mastermind. So what I'm going to get into today, I'm going to get into Georgia statistics, conference breakdowns, scores, predictions, and the CFP rankings that came on last night at 7 o'clock. So first of all, I want to get into Georgia. As y'all know, Georgia is the #1 team in the nation. They got one of the best defenses. Well, they're the best defense in the country. We clearly all see that, with only allowing 4.6 points per game and then scoring 46 points through 8 games, allowing other teams to only score 46 points through 8 games. And yeah, their just defense is just incredible. So basically what I want to get into with Georgia, as y'all know, Georgia's 8-0. And all Georgia has to do is win these next 4 games, which I think they'll win very convincingly. They play Missouri, Tennessee, Georgia Tech, and likely they'll play Alabama in the SEC Championship. And if somebody I miss, I'm sure there's probably an easy team. But they'll likely win. So, okay, of course, they got Missouri this week. So my prediction is, like I said, 41-10, because when you look at Georgia, they didn't shut out. How many teams they didn't shut out? I think it was like 1 or 2. I think they shut out one team. It was, of course, it was Vanderbilt, the private school, or whatever. They suck anyway, but that's Vanderbilt. Then they beat Auburn 34-10. They beat UAB 56-7. Their first game. They beat Arkansas 37-0. So as y'all know, they got 2 shutouts, one against Arkansas, one against Vanderbilt. So that's really crazy to see, because when I saw Georgia and Arkansas playing, I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought Arkansas was going to get a fight, but obviously I was wrong. Sometimes I could be wrong, even though I got a lot of knowledge in my head. Even I could be wrong for that. But either way, yeah, Georgia beat them 37-0, and as y'all know, they play Missouri this week. So like I said, I got the score 41-10. And then next week, I think they got Tennessee. They'll likely be a 30-point favorite in that, maybe 28. So like a 4-touchdown favorite. So I like, if y'all ask me, Georgia should go 12-0. They should go 12-0. That's all it is. They should handle Georgia Tech. They should manhandle them like 44-0. And because Georgia Tech is really bad in the ACC, and they're with the ACC. And the ACC is bad anyway. The only thing that was good, that was good, it looks like it was going to be Clemson for the past 6-7 years, because way before that it was Florida State. Then it became Clemson as a dynasty ever since 2015. And now it looks like Wake Forest and took it away from them, because Wake Forest is the only undefeated team in the ACC. They're 8-0. So, yeah, I just want to say that. So, then, of course, you know, you got Georgia, Alabama in the SEC Championship. Likely, we all know. I mean, a lot of folks were still saying that Georgia probably beat Alabama, but I just still don't see it with Nick Saban being there. Even though Alabama looked vulnerable at times, but it's Alabama and Georgia. I would say Georgia would probably score 28 points, and Alabama would score 31. I got that, 31-28, because Georgia and Alabama, that's going to be between a field goal game, because the past few meetings, it's been 3 meetings. Well, 2 out of 3. As y'all know, Georgia had lost to Alabama in the national championships 26-23 a few years ago in 2017. Then the next year, when they were playing, Georgia had lost 35-28, if I'm not mistaken. I think, yeah. And then, of course, Georgia and Alabama played last year, and Alabama won 41-24 after Georgia was leading 24-20 in the first half. So, and now you got them in the SEC Championship. That's likely to happen. And yeah, unless Auburn beats Alabama, and then Auburn will get a chance. And then y'all are like, well, why would Auburn get a chance? They're a 2-loss team. Well, I'm going to tell you why. That's why I got conference breakdown with me. So I just wanted to say, as y'all know, you can have a team that's 12-0, but that's 9-0 in the SEC conference, which I don't know how folks will not hang on to that, because I didn't see it plenty of times. But as y'all know, either Georgia, let's say Georgia plays UMass, like they did a few years ago and whooped. Let's say they play UMass, a Liberty team. Let's say you put North Carolina, and then like Charlotte. Those are 4 non-conference games, because they're not in the SEC, which means Georgia would likely win those. And then as y'all to look at it, y'all probably be like, well, y'all probably are wondering why I would put this in there. Well, North Carolina would be the only tough team, because they're in the ACC and all that stuff, and they're in the Power 5. But then those other 3 teams that I named, they're not. So of course Georgia would be 4-0, and let's say they win their SEC games, all their SEC games before the championship, they would be 12-0, but 8-0 in the conference. because, like I said, they're playing 4 non-conference teams that are not in their conference. So that's how they do it. So then it's like, okay, let's say Auburn wins out because let's say Auburn wins out because if y'all didn't know, Auburn lost to Penn State in Georgia. They lost to Penn State 28-20 in the 4th game, and then like I said, they lost to Georgia 34-10. But then when you look at it, okay, Penn State's not in the conference. So even if Auburn was playing Auburn, I'm just saying, even if Auburn would still be they would be 6-2, but they would either be 4-1 or whatever you want to do, 4-1, 5-1 in the conference because Penn State was not on they're not in the SEC resume. So that's how that kind of goes. So, and then, like I said, if Auburn wins out, even though y'all went on, they're a 2-loss team, Alabama's 1. When Auburn and Alabama likely to play each other, if Auburn does, which I think they'll lose to Texas A&M because they got them and whoever else, I think they got, and of course Alabama. But like I said, okay, Auburn is 6-2, but 5. And I'm sorry, y'all, I keep on saying this, but they're 6-2, 5-1 in the conference. Okay, let's say, like I said, Auburn wins out, they play, and then of course they go to the Iron Bowl, and Alabama's 11-1, but 7-1, because Alabama lost to crazy Texas A&M team that first lost to Arkansas and Mississippi State, and then now it's like Texas A&M, of course, they beat Alabama, and then they done won their 2 games against Missouri and South Carolina, beating them convincingly. They only scored, to 2 teams, they only scored 42 points, while Texas A&M scored 35 in 1 game, and then they scored 44 in the other game. So that's 79 points. That's 79-28 in 2 games against teams, which I'm doing the math. But like I said, okay, if that was to happen, like I said, Auburn wins out. Alabama wins out. And then they meet in the Iron Bowl. Auburn could possibly play in the SEC championship, even though that's not going to happen. But like I said, them 2 could play each other, and then if Auburn wins, guess what happens? Auburn gets to go to the SEC championship. That's always been like that. They did it a few years ago. They did it in 2017 where they be having those Iron Bowls, and I think those would be the great Iron Bowls because I think that's the time when Auburn wins because they win like when it's a winner take all or go home. Like in 2013, they won 34-28. The kick 6. That game is famously known as the kick 6 because the dude Chris Davis returned it for 109 yards for a touchdown, and boom, won 34-28 on the Alabama missed field goal. And that was a win it all take a home game because Auburn was, if I'm like 10-1, and then Alabama was 11-0. But since Alabama had lost, Auburn went 11-0, 11-1. But then they already had lost to an LSU team, and of course Alabama went undefeated until they played Auburn, and then they lost. And then of course Alabama went 11-2 that year, while Auburn went 12-2 and played Florida State and lost 34-31 in the national championship. And then Alabama played Oklahoma in the AT&T Bowl or whatever, and they had won. Oklahoma had won 45-31. So then that marked Alabama to be 11-2. Of course, Florida State was crowned champions. And then in 2017, as y'all know, Auburn played Georgia. They beat them 40-17 when Georgia was number 1 that time. And then they played Alabama in the Iron Bowl, and they had won 26-14 because, like I said, Auburn was a 1-loss team. Alabama was undefeated in the conference. So then when since Auburn won the tiebreaker, that sent them to the SEC championship game. As y'all know, they lost 28-7. Then they ended up playing at UCF. They lost 34-27 to Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl. And then Alabama, because Auburn and Wisconsin had lost that year, because Wisconsin had lost to Ohio State 27-21 in the Big Ten championship. So then, since Wisconsin Auburn got bumped down because Alabama was like number 5 and Georgia was number 6. That took Georgia and Alabama to the CFP, and then of course Oklahoma and Clemson were both sitting there just waiting for who they were playing ahead. And then of course Georgia played in the Rose Bowl, and they won 50-48 in double overtime. And then Clemson played Alabama, Clemson lost 24-6, and Georgia played Alabama in the national championship, and then that's how they won 26. Alabama had won 26-23 in overtime, in 2 overtimes, if I'm not mistaken. It was 1 overtime on the 2-out pass to Devontae Smith when Devontae Smith was a rookie in college and won 26-23, and the game won a touchdown. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. So that's how it all goes, and yeah, that was it. That's a lot for that. I know that's a lot to digest or whatever. So like I said, so next up, who else was I'm trying to get into? Next up, I want to get into, CFP rankings. I haven't even got on that. So as y'all know, the CFP college football playoff rankings came on last night. As y'all know, the number 1 team, go Dogs. Go Bulldogs, yeah.
Go Dogs.
Number 2 team, who is it? Who's the number 2 team? Oklahoma. Yep. Oh, wait. I think I messed this up. It was Georgia. I know Georgia was number 1, y'all. I'm sorry, but I know Georgia was number 1. I think Alabama was number 2. I know Michigan State was number 3. Then number 4. Oh, I done messed this up. Georgia was number 1. Alabama was number 2. Michigan State was number 3. Ohio State, I think, was number 4. And number 5 was Oklahoma. And then number 6, 5 or 6, I know was Oklahoma and Cincinnati. So those were the top 6 teams in college football. But my mama's also trying to see. And I don't know. I'll probably, yeah. What you got, Mom?
I got, son.
I know Georgia's number 1. We all know that. Georgia's clearly best. Number 2. Oh, Alabama. Like I said, of course, it was Alabama, then Michigan State. Okay. And then, hold on, y'all. I'm trying to get that phone. It's a long reach. Okay, so as y'all know, Georgia was number 1. Alabama was number 2. Michigan State was number 3. Oregon was number 4. I thought Oregon was number 7. This must be... Oh, that was Saturday, October 30th. This came on November 2nd, yesterday, which was November 1st. Go back. I'll go back. Hold on, y'all. Because I got to get it down.
My bad. That was my mistake.
That's my bad, y'all. That's on me. Okay, rankings. Michigan State was number... I don't know. Yeah, I'm just going to... You know what? I'm just going to put this down. I'm going to say I don't know. I'm just going to say that. Because I know Georgia was number 1, then you had the number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 teams. So I wonder, y'all probably wondering, well, Cincinnati got bumped out of the number 2 spot. They went down to like number 5 or 6. But then Cincinnati has looked bad in some games. They looked great at the beginning of the season, beating Indiana, Notre Dame, of course, on the road, even though Indiana's a horrible team. But they beat them on the road, then beat UCF 56-21. Then beat Temple 45-52-3, which was a real bad game for Temple. And as y'all know, DeJuan Mathis, quarterback who was playing for Georgia for a little bit, who had took a little bit when Stetson Bennett had got benched in the Florida game. Now he's with Temple because that's where he transferred last year. So, and then Cincinnati played Navy, a one-win team. I keep getting that mixed up. 1-win team that's now 2-6. So I think they had beat Air Force or somebody or whoever it was they beat. And then they played a Tulane team, which this is weird, y'all. I'm gonna say this. Tulane almost beats Oklahoma 40-35. Almost beat them. It was 40-35. Second game they played a Morgan State team. They beat them 69-20. Third game they played Ole Miss. Ole Miss beat them 61-21. You're wondering, well, Oklahoma's way better than, Oklahoma's look a good bit better than Ole Miss. But I'm just wondering, how does Ole Miss knock them out like that? And they were playing on the road too, even though Tulane was supposed to play at home, but then, the hurricane or whatever had happened, so that messed up everything. And hopefully everybody was okay in the city of, or whatever, Louisiana. Praying for them, hoping they do good, hoping we can build that city back up. And state, whatever, and I just wanted to say that. But then, like I said, Tulane then loses the SMU, who's a really good team. And as y'all know, y'all probably wondering, well, who's SMU? Southern Methodist University. That's where the great Eric Dickerson played, because Eric Dickerson was a favorite player for SMU. And then he went to the Rams and broke the record because a lot of folks were still, like Derrick Henry, a lot of folks were thinking Derrick Henry could break the rushing record for the most yards in the season, which I think Eric Dickerson had 2,100 yards in one rushing year. And Derrick Henry trying to break that, but as y'all know, Derrick Henry has a broken leg, so then he's out for 6 weeks, and that makes me so sad because I like the Titans at the end of Julio there. And then what makes me even sadder, it's not the Falcons, it's their arch nemesis rival, the Saints. Jameis Winston gets hurt. Jameis Winston. I feel so sad. I felt so sad when I heard that news. I was like, it always happens to the teams you want when it don't happen to Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. It's like, why can't he get hurt? Why can't his ACL get hurt or something? Because he keep on winning every time, and it just gets on you nervous. Like I said, I just want to see somebody just hit Tom Brady. Don't hurt him, but just sack him good. Because I'm tired of it. I think the thing is, you just get tired of seeing the same person at Super Bowl, the same team, or it's not the same teams with the Bucks, but you get tired of seeing that. You get tired of it, and you're just like, well, what about these other teams that don't? Or what about these other teams? Like, I want the Bengals to go because I got Joe Burrow. I want the Cardinals to go because I wanted the Saints to go first and foremost. But then I also want these other teams in the AFC to play the Saints in the NFC. I mean, it will be the NFC, so then the Saints or the Bengals will play each other in the Super Bowl, but the Saints will win. I want the Saints to win. Sorry, y'all. I was trying to make it sound like, well, I want all these other teams to go. No, I want my Saints to go first and foremost. I'm just going to say that. I want my Saints to go first and foremost. Who that nation said that they can beat them Falcons? Saints. No. Who that nation said that they can beat the Buccaneers 36-27? Saints. Who said that nation can beat the Eagles in the NFC divisional 20-14 a few years ago? Saints. Who else said that all these other teams cheated against what team? Who that nation? The Saints. These teams cheated. I mean, the Saints had missed calls. It was missed pass interference calls, and it was so sad because I was like, I wanted the Saints to go. I don't want them stinking old Rams to go. I don't want Aaron Donald and the Rams to go. I wanted the Saints to go that year. I wanted to be the Saints and the Patriots. Well, not just, I wanted to be the Saints and the Chiefs, but I was still gonna go for the Saints. But then, of course, Patriots that won. Then it would be the Saints Patriots, but I definitely would have won. I don't want the Patriots going, period, because they were also played in Atlanta, of course, one of the suckiest football teams.
Damn.
I'm playing. It's the Lions and the Rams.
I mean, dang, don't go so against your home team.
And then the next year, you're playing the Minnesota Vikings again, and there was another pass interference call that they missed. And I was just like, is there a curse in New Orleans? I was like, that's not fair. Like, they were supposed to win that fair and square. The Saints were supposed to win that, and those referees, no. I know them referees. Well, I'm sure when they got in them cars, I know them Saints fans were getting on them referees. I would have too, because I would have been like, you just missed call. And I don't like referees, period, in the game. I feel like referees mess up everything, which they do. Like my grandpa said, they win the game and they lose the game, but they make the other team lose or win the game, which is just shameful. And then the referees are doing it it's not like they're doing it to a team that I don't want to win. They're doing it to a team that I do want to win. And it was just so sad to see the Saints lose. Otherwise, why do you think I got this? The Saints blanket and 3 Saints shirts. I don't have no Falcons blanket now, but I do have 1 Falcons shirt, and that was Julio. But Julio's with the Titans now, so that don't make sense for me to really look Falcons because they ain't got Julio. They ain't even that good. They've never been there. They really should be on 17.
Okay, I'm gonna throw something at you.
And
don't even say that. Just don't say nothing bad.
Welcome to New Orleans where the Saints play, where they beat the Falcons night and day. No road and party don't stop till 4 in the morning. Y'all see how I did that? That was a great remix. Welcome to New Orleans. Now welcome to Atlanta. Welcome to New Orleans. Anyway, I just want to say y'all, that's it for today. Thank you and bye bye.